Minister Cele has confirmed that the man found guilty of murdering Soweto woman Tshegofatso Pule has been sentenced to 35 years in jail. Muzikayise Malephane confessed to the murder and linked Pule's boyfriend to the crime. He told the court that he was paid by Pule's boyfriend to kill her in order to hide her pregnancy from his partner. 28-year-old Pule, who was 8 months pregnant, was found hanging from a tree in Roodepoort in Gauteng last year after she had been missing for several days.
Some few hours ago, less than an hour, the murderer and the killer of the young woman, Miss Pule, was found hanging on the tree, has been given 35 years. Has been sentenced and given 35 years. We congratulate the team for having done the good work that we have received those. But more than that, somebody else has been picked up for the same case. We hope that that will take us forward to find out exactly what happened to Tshegofatso Pule.
Now, joining me is Tshegofatso Pule's uncle, Tumisang Katake, to give us the family's stance on the conviction of their loved one, the loved one's killer. Very good morning to you, Tumisang. Thank you so much for your time. I cannot imagine what the family is going through. Your suspicions have been confirmed. You had mentioned during the course of this terrible, terrible crime that you believe that Tshegofatso's former boyfriend had a lot to do with her disappearance and her murder. Talk us through what's going through your mind.
Good morning, Point. Good morning to you, for viewers. Yeah, we, first and foremost, our suspicions were confirmed in court on Friday about the graphic details that unfolded as to how Tshegofatso's death was planned and the execution thereof. It was quite an emotional day for family. And some family members could not control their emotions. And my sister collapsed twice in court as a result of what she had. And it didn't make sense at all that somebody could just blame the death of a person simply because you did not want your partner to find out that you impregnated the woman outside your relationship. It still doesn't make sense to me at all.
During court proceedings, a handwritten letter by Muzikayise Malephane was read out where he conveys a message to the family saying that he's sorry and he wants some sort of sympathy from the family as he conveyed his apology. How did that resonate with you?
We discussed about it immediately after the court proceedings, the family, and the sentiments was that we should accept his apology to set him free. But at the same time, there has to be consequences. Look, we're not God. We know what he did was horrendous and the blame. But at the end of the day, Tshegofatso is no more. For us to not accept the apology, it's also going to kill us. And it's not going to sit well with us. So there's nothing that could happen where the court could have handed him 100 years or 50 years or any amount of years that one could think of that would set him away for a very long time. Tshegofatso will not be back. The only thing which is human was just to accept his apology and then let him go face his consequences.
As you learned during court proceedings that 70,000 rand, a mere 70,000 rand was put out to ensure that Tshegofatso Pule was killed, how did that make you feel?
We talk about 70,000, but the price started at 7, went up to 20 until 70,000, and then there was an agreement. And then you realize that the life of a person was being auctioned here from 720 to 70 for what? Just to hide the pregnancy from your partner or your wife. It paints a very bleak picture of what was happening. You must remember the the person who was making that offer is the person whom, as a family, we entrusted to make sure that Tshegofatso was safe in his hands. And more than that, it's the person who we thought was the person who was in love with Tshegofatso and would make sure that he protects Tshegofatso and the unborn baby. But little did we know that he was going to be the very same person who was going to end the life of Tshegofatso.
And as you go back to really trying to make sense of this horrible, horrible crime, and you look at how one man was trying to hide a pregnancy from his other partner, and you look at how Tshegofatso was raised without a father, and you begin to imagine that perhaps, you know, Tshegofatso would have been fine without having her partner and just raising her child without him. Did that sort of debate go through your mind?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Not only was Tshegofatso raised without a father, Tshegofatso was raised without parents. Both parents passed on, but she turned out okay. And the best thing that could have happened under the circumstances is this guy wanted to hide this thing so much away from his family, maybe, and the partner, was just to deny the responsibility. And then this whole thing would have been avoided. You know, Tshegofatso's baby would have turned out fine. As we speak, Tshegofatso's baby could have been 6 months. And we are there. We could have supported the baby. And we could have also supported Tshegofatso emotionally and otherwise. I just didn't understand why could somebody think of such a horrendous thing simply because of pregnancy. No, that's not all.
This alleged mastermind is expected to appear in court tomorrow. What's going through your mind, and perhaps what are some of your expectations there?
I don't know what you expect, Mpo. It will be for the very first time we come face to face with him since after the incident of passing of Tshegofatso. Some family members are very emotional about it, understandably so. But we'll see what happens. I honestly don't know what to expect from tomorrow. It's a packet of mixed emotions that the family is going through.
With this entire, the nitty-gritty, harrowing details playing out within the public domain, and everybody knowing these details, and everybody learning of a horrific crime where the body of a young woman was found hanging from a tree, devastating and traumatizing those who first came to the scene and saw her hanging there. How has the family been dealing with this entire process on an emotional ground, a psychological element?
I must say, at this point, I must thank the Gauteng government for having provided the emotional support in the form of counseling to the entire family. They've done an extremely wonderful job to us from the moment they discovered this horrendous scene and the crime that has been committed against our child. And up until Friday, they were still with us inside the court, making sure that they support us when there was a need. And I don't think it's the good news that often go out there of the government, but that's how they've been supporting us, and that's how the family has been surviving up to this point, emotionally and psychologically.
Wow, thank you so much for your time, Tumisang Katake. Tshegofatso Pule's uncle, may your family continue to find strength and be comforted during this really, really heartbreaking time. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you so much, Mpo.